You feel it, don't you? That gnawing, persistent suspicion in the back of your mind that the game is rigged. You look around at the world and you see men and women running themselves into the ground, exhausted, anxious, and desperate, chasing a version of success that was sold to them by a system designed to keep them weak. They follow the rules. They are polite. They show mercy. They wear their hearts on their sleeves, begging for validation, begging to be understood, begging for a fairness that simply does not exist. And what is their reward? They are chewed up and spat out. They are betrayed by friends they trusted, abandoned by lovers they worshipped, and overlooked by a world that views their kindness as an invitation to feast. You have felt this burn in your own life. You have tasted the bitter ash of betrayal when you gave too much. You have felt the crushing weight of trying to control chaos, only to realize you were gripping smoke. But the reason you are here, listening to this voice, is because something inside you has finally snapped. The part of you that wanted to be a good person, a compliant, harmless, predictable person, is dying. And you are ready to let it die. You are ready to stop being the prey and finally understand the mind of the predator. You are ready to embrace the cold, sharp truth that Niccolo Machiavelli whispered to the ages. That it is better to be feared than loved, and that true power belongs only to those who can master themselves. The first step in this brutal awakening is to shatter the oldest lie you have ever been told, the illusion of control. From the moment you were born, society has tried to domesticate you with the fantasy that if you just work hard enough, love hard enough, and follow the script, you can dictate the outcome of your life. This is the poison that keeps the masses enslaved. Look at them. They scream at the weather. They rage at the economy. They have emotional breakdowns over the opinions of strangers on the internet. They are trying to bend the external world to their will, and because the external world is pure, unadulterated chaos, they break. They are like sailors screaming at a hurricane, thinking their anger will calm the waves. It is pathetic. It is weakness. To become truly untouchable, you must violently sever your attachment to the things you cannot control. The Machiavellian mind understands that the world outside of your skull is a storm. The markets will crash, people will lie, alliances will shift, disasters will strike. If you tie your emotional stability to these shifting sands, you will always be drowning. True power, the kind that makes people uneasy when you walk into a room, comes from a total and radical withdrawal of your energy from external events. When a crisis hits, the ordinary man panics. He leaks energy, he reveals his fear, he scrambles. But you will do the exact opposite. You will become a void. You will look at the chaos with the dead, calm eyes of a statue. You will understand that if you cannot command the situation, you owe it absolutely nothing. No fear, no anger, no anxiety. By withholding your reaction, you starve the chaos of its power over you. This is not passivity. This is the ultimate act of aggression against a disorderly world. You are telling the universe that while it may rage around you, it does not have permission to enter you. You are building a wall of ice between your soul and the events of the world, and in that cold silence you will find a clarity that the frantic masses will never know. This leads us to the cold liberation of absolute detachment. Most people are walking open wounds, desperate for anything to cling to. They attach themselves to their titles, their bank accounts, their relationships, and their reputations. They are terrified of loss, because they have built their entire identity on temporary things. But the Machiavellian adept views attachment as a chain. When you need something, you are a slave to it. When you need someone's love, they own you. When you need your boss's approval, he owns you. When you need the world to see you as successful, the opinion of the mob owns you. Detachment is the blade that cuts these throats. It is the realization that you are not your possessions, you are not your relationships, and you are certainly not your reputation. Imagine walking through a fee and not feeling the heat. That is what detachment feels like. It is the ability to look at everything you have, everything you love, and accept that it could vanish tomorrow, and you would still be standing. This sounds terrifying to the weak, but to you it must become the source of your invincibility. When you are willing to walk away from the negotiation table, you hold all the leverage. When you are willing to lose the relationship rather than submit to disrespect, you command respect. When you are prepared to lose your status rather than your dignity, you become ungovernable. The world smells desperation, it hunts the desperate. But when you move with the casual indifference of a man who needs nothing, the world chases you. You must cultivate a mindset where everything external is seen as a borrowed tool, useful for a time, perhaps enjoyable, but ultimately disposable. You must be the traveler who enjoys the hotel room but does not weep when it is time to check out. This coldness is your armor. It prevents the hooks of the world from sinking into your flesh. But what of the pain? What of the scars you already carry? This is where the alchemy of the dark triad comes into play. You have been taught that trauma is a defect, that your pain is a reason to seek pity. This is the mindset of the victim. The Machiavellian views pain as raw, high-octane fuel. Every betrayal you have suffered was a lesson in human nature. Every humiliation was a masterclass in the dynamics of power. Every moment of loneliness was an opportunity to forge self-reliance. The weak man tries to forget his pain or numb it with pleasure. The strong man dissects it. When you feel the sting of disrespect, do not lash out like an animal. Swallow the anger. Digest it. Let it turn into cold, hard ambition. Think of the most dangerous men in history. Were they men of comfort? Were they men who had easy lives filled with sunshine and soft words? No. They were men forged in the furnace of suffering. They took the stones thrown at them and built empires. You must stop looking for a way to escape your suffering and start looking for a way to weaponize it. When someone hurts you, they have given you a gift. They have revealed who they are, and they have given you the motivation to surpass them. There is a terrifying focus that comes from pain. It clears the fog, it sharpens the senses. When you are backed into a corner, you find reserves of strength that comfort never reveals. Stop wishing for an easy life. An easy life makes you soft, and soft men are food for the wolves. Embrace the friction. Embrace the struggle. Tell yourself that every hardship is merely the fire burning away the impurities of your weakness, leaving only the steel of your will. You are not a survivor of your past. You are its architect. You have built yourself out of the wreckage, and that makes you more dangerous than any man who has never bled. Now, consider the face you show to the world. We live in an era of oversharing, where people vomit their inner thoughts, fears, and insecurities onto social media and into conversations, thinking that vulnerability is a virtue. It is not. In the realm of power, vulnerability is a liability. It is giving your enemies the blueprints to your destruction. The Machiavellian master wears the mask. This is not about being fake. It is about being strategic. Your face should be a smooth, unreadable surface. Your emotions are for you and you alone. To the world, you must appear consistent, calm, and impenetrable. The mask is a filter. It allows you to observe others while they cannot observe you. When you are angry, the mask smiles. When you are anxious, the mask is bored. When you are plotting, the mask is innocent. By controlling the signals you send out, you control the reality that others perceive. Think of it as a one-way mirror. You can see their greed, their lust, their fear, and their hesitation. But when they look at you, they see only their own reflection. This terrifies people. Uncertainty breeds fear, and fear breeds respect. When people cannot figure out what you are thinking, they begin to overthink. They project their own fears onto you. They assume you are smarter, stronger, and more calculated than you perhaps are. You must learn to speak less. Silence is the loudest sound in the universe. When you stay silent, people rush to fill the void, and in doing so, they reveal everything. They tell you their secrets, their plans, their insecurities, all because they cannot bear the weight of your silence. Wear your mask like a king wears a crown. It is the symbol of your sovereignty over your own soul. Never let them see you bleed. Never let them see you sweat. To the outside world, you must simply be an inevitability, a force of nature that cannot be read or rattled. However, the mask is useless if there is nothing behind it but a slave. This brings us to the ruthless discipline of self-mastery. You cannot command an army, a business, or a household if you cannot command your own impulses. Look at the modern man. He is a slave to his dopamine receptors. He cannot sit still for 5 minutes without checking his phone. He cannot endure a pang of hunger without eating. He cannot feel lust without indulging it. He is dragged around by his biology like a dog on a leash. If you want to rise above the herd, you must declare war on your own desires. Discipline is not a hobby. It is a violent act of dominance over your lower self. Every time you deny yourself a comfort, you are sharpening your will. When you wake up early while the rest of the world is sleeping, you are stealing a victory. When you force your body to train when it wants to rest, you are proving who is in charge. This is about hierarchy, and the hierarchy starts inside your own skin. You must be the master, and your body and mind must be the servants. If you cannot trust yourself to do what you say you will do, you are nothing. The Machiavellian mind is an ordered mind. It is a mind that has categorized its weaknesses and systematically eradicated them. You must become ascetic in your focus. Cut away the fat, the mindless entertainment, the toxic gossip, the junk food, the procrastination. These are the chains that the system uses to keep you docile. Break them. When you are disciplined, you become dangerous because you are predictable only to yourself. You can endure what others cannot. You can work longer, think deeper, and wait longer than anyone else. In a world of addicts, the sober man is king. In a world of impulsive children, the disciplined man is a god. Once you have mastered the self, you can turn your gaze outward to the calculated art of strategy. Life is not a fairy tale, it is a chessboard. Every interaction you have is a move. Every person you meet is a piece with their own specific movement patterns. Some are pawns, easily manipulated and sacrificed. Some are bishops, moving diagonally, hiding their motives in dogma or morality. Some are knights, erratic and dangerous. You must stop looking at people as friends or enemies and start seeing them as data points. What drives them? What are they afraid of? What do they want more than anything else? The Machiavellian operates with cold cognitive empathy. You understand their emotions, but you do not share them. You study human nature like a biologist studies bacteria under a microscope. You notice that your colleague craves validation, so you feed him scraps of praise to make him loyal. You notice that your rival is arrogant, so you play the fool to make him underestimate you. You notice that the masses are guided by fear, so you present yourself as the only source of stability. This is not cruelty, it is navigation. If you walk into a jungle, you must know how the predators hunt. The world is a jungle of egos. To survive, you must navigate these egos without getting entangled in them. You must be strategic with your honesty and calculated with your deceit. Machiavelli taught that the prudent ruler cannot and must not honor his word when it places him at a disadvantage. This is a hard pill to swallow for the moralists, but the moralists are usually the ones being crushed by the pragmatists. You are not here to be a saint. You are here to be effective. Plan your moves 10 steps ahead. While others are reacting to the present moment, you are shaping the future. Use time as a weapon. Be patient. Let your enemies exhaust themselves fighting shadows while you wait, fresh and ready to deliver the final stroke. This strategic approach extends into the realm of emotional warfare. Whether you like it or not, you are in a constant state of psychological combat. People are constantly trying to impose their frame of reality onto you. They try to guilt-trip you, shame you, intimidate you, or seduce you. The weapon they use is emotion. They want to provoke a reaction because a reaction gives them something to work with. If they can make you angry, they can guide your anger. If they can make you afraid, they can sell you safety. The untouchable man creates a fortress of indifference. When someone tries to provoke you, you must meet them with a wall of nothingness. Imagine the power of not reacting. Someone insults you and you simply look at them, bored. You have just stripped them of their weapon. You have shown them that their opinion has zero value to you. This indifference is the ultimate insult. It says, "You do not exist enough to disturb my peace." But emotional warfare is also offensive. You must learn to play on the harp of human emotion. You can inspire loyalty by offering hope. You can destroy resistance by instilling doubt. You must become a master of atmosphere. When you walk into a room, the energy should shift. You determine the mood. If you want the room to be serious, you are serious. If you want it to be light, you allow it to be light. Never let the emotional state of others dictate yours. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the temperature. By mastering your own emotional regulation, you become a sanctuary for the weak. People are drawn to those who are calm in a crisis. They will flock to you, surrender their autonomy to you, simply because you seem like the only one who isn't freaking out. Use this. Lead them. But never, ever let their panic infect your sanctuary. To maintain this level of power, you must understand the necessity of isolation. There is a profound difference between being lonely and being solitary. Loneliness is a desperate craving for company. Solitude is the rich, empowering enjoyment of your own presence. The Machiavellian mind is a fortress that stands alone. You can have allies, you can have partners, you can have a network, but you must never have dependencies. The moment you cannot function without someone else, you are vulnerable. If your happiness depends on a woman, she holds a knife to your throat. If your financial survival depends on one employer, he holds a gun to your head. You must diversify your sources of power, but ultimately the core must be self-sufficient. You must cultivate the ability to walk away from anyone and anything at a moment's notice. This willingness to walk away is the only thing that guarantees you will be treated well. We live in a world where people are terrified of abandonment. They stay in toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, and abusive friendships because they are scared to be alone. You must flip this script. You must become the dangerous loner, the man who is perfectly content in his own company. When people realize that you do not need them, they become terrified of losing you. They will work harder to keep you. They will respect your boundaries. The fortress of isolation is where you sharpen your sword. It is where you read, where you think, where you plan. It is the sacred space where no other influence is allowed to enter. Protect your solitude viciously. It is the source of your recharge. It is where you remind yourself of who you are away from the noise of the sheep. And as you build this internal fortress, you must also carefully curate the shadow you cast, the power of perception. History is not written by the truth. It is written by the victors, and victory is often a matter of image. You must understand that people do not see reality. They see what they expect to see. If you carry yourself with the posture of a king, people will treat you like royalty before you have even spoken a word. If you mumble and slouch, they will treat you like a peasant even if you are a genius. You must consciously design your avatar. What is the myth of you? Create a reputation that precedes you. Let there be rumors of your competence, your ruthlessness, your brilliance. Let people whisper about you. Mystery is a powerful amplifier. The less people know about the details of your life, the more they will invent, and they will always invent something far more impressive than the mundane truth. Be scarce. Do not be available to everyone at all times. Availability creates contempt. Scarcity creates value. When you do speak, make it count. When you do appear, make it memorable. You are the director of your own movie, and the world is your audience. Do not let them see the bloopers. Do not let them see the rehearsals. Show them only the polished, final cut. Control the lighting, control the angle. If you can make people believe you are powerful because they will hand you opportunities, deference, and resources based on that belief alone. Perception is reality. Warp it to your will. Now we arrive at the final transformation, becoming the untouchable. This is not a destination. It is a state of being that you must maintain every single day. It is the convergence of all these weapons: detachment, pain, the mask, discipline, strategy, indifference, isolation, and perception. It is the moment you realize that you have effectively seceded from the human race's frantic race to the bottom. You are operating on a different operating system. While they are crying over fairness, you are leveraging reality. While they are seeking comfort, you are hunting challenges. While they are begging to be loved, you are demanding to be respected. This transformation requires a death. You must kill the part of you that wants to be saved. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to validate you. You are the hero and the villain of your own story. You must accept the cold burden of total responsibility. If you fail, it is your fault. If you succeed, it is your glory. This absolute ownership is what separates the gods from the insects. The untouchable man walks through the world, but is not of it. He enjoys the pleasures of life without being addicted to them. He plays the game of social hierarchy without being defined by it. He loves without losing himself. He fights without losing his cool. He is fluid, like water, taking the shape of the container but capable of eroding the hardest stone. You will know you have reached this state when you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to anyone. You will act, and your action will be the explanation. You will stop asking for permission to exist, to take up space, to succeed. You will simply take what is yours. The world is harsh, cruel, and indifferent. The Machiavellian does not resent this. He accepts it. He smiles at it. Because he knows that in a world of chaos, the man with order is king. In a world of softness, the man of steel is a weapon. You have the tools now. You have the map. The door to the cage is open. All that is left is for you to walk out into the cold, bracing air of true freedom. Do not look back at the warmth of the slavery you left behind. Look forward. Look at the horizon. There are empires to be built, and they are waiting for the man who is cold enough, bold enough, and ruthless enough to build them. Stand up. Fix your posture. Sharpen your mind. The transformation begins now. You are no longer one of them. You are one of us. You are the Machiavellian mind, and you are untouchable. Comment this now and carve it into your subconscious. I am the master of my fate. I am the fortress. I am untouchable.